Our next presenter is Dr. Akasagi from the Aichi Prefectural Colony Central Hospital in Japan, and the title is Clinical Application of an Injection Needle that can be inserted and safely recapped outside of the patient's view.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Tomoko Akasaki from Japan. We are located 30 kilometers south of Nara City in the middle of Japanese island. Nara City is the main city in Chita Peninsula with a population of 110,000. My dental office has been handling disabled patients for 13 years. By treating disabled patients very carefully, responsibly, and very respectfully, we had very positive results with everybody being entirely satisfied. So.
Needles are frightening, not only to disabled patients, but also to healthy patients. Patients who are afraid or very cautious of needles often ask questions such as, what's going to happen to me? They will still glance at the instruments and feigning unconcern saying, oh, that's an explorer, or oh, this is a drill to make holes. While fear of needles is common to both healthy and disabled patients, I have found that most disabled patients actually try to touch and handle the instruments to allay their fears. Although body movements can be relatively easily restrained, it is much more difficult to control motions of the patient's face and neck region, especially in disabled patients and children. This poses two problems that are made more difficult when the patient is resisting. Number one, it makes it impossible to give an exact diagnosis and to perform any operations. Number two, the risk of injury to the patient's tongue and lips or the dentist's fingers increases when the needle is brought into the oral cavity or recapped out of the oral cavity. In this video presentation, we are going to present our new injection needle with slide cap. We found that it is effective in preventing needle stick incidents and provides feelings of relief and safety to both the dental staff and the disabled person. The greatest modification we have made to the traditional needle is to conceal the needle, enabling it to be inserted without removing the cap. To produce a slide cap, we converted a ready-made disposable injection needle. The slide cap needle consists of 3 parts: a slide cover, a slide cap, and a hub. As you can see in the video, a ready-made cap is converted into the slide cover, and a ready-made cover is converted into the slide cap. The 2 parts have opposing roles respectively. Thus, when using this system, it is only necessary to apply a moderate amount of pressure to slide back the slide cover. The slide cap is formed into a bullet shape, and a small hole is drilled into the tip. The rounded shape makes it easier to place the needle on the correct injection point in the oral cavity without removing the cap. Once safely placed into the right position, the patient is injected. After administering the anesthesia, it can be recapped immediately by sliding the slide cap back to its original position in the oral cavity. As we all know, when we use a ready-made needle, the needle is exposed when we remove the cap. Therefore, the risk of a needle stick incident is very high when the needle is brought into the oral cavity and when it's recapped out of the oral cavity. When we use the slide cap needle, we see that it can be brought into and out of the oral cavity without being in the patient's sight, thereby reducing the risk of a needle stick incident.